Last Sunday, President Milei laid out his budget proposals for 2025. He castigated his predecessors, praised his own achievements, and gave some general intentions for the coming year, without going into too much detail. Here's a quick look at his plans and what that might mean for ordinary citizens of Argentina. The most optimistic numbers were Milei's predictions for inflation. The current rate is 236%. Milei set a target for just over 100% by the end of this year and down as far as 18% by the end of December 2025. That would be a huge achievement, although what more deep cuts need to be made to get there are yet to be revealed. There was also a prediction of over 5% growth for the economy during each of the next 3 years, although this number runs way ahead of both the central bank and the IMF estimations. I suppose with the current austerity-led deep recession, any kind of bounce-back numbers will look good. If the slow monthly devaluation that the finance ministry has set continues according to plan, the official exchange rate should be 1,200 pesos to the dollar come December 2025. Obviously, it's impossible to say how this will relate to the dollar blue 15 months from now, or if the dollar blue will even still exist. That all remains to be seen. To achieve all of this means keeping a tight rein on any kind of public spending. Milei promised to veto any and all legislation which threatens his budget proposals. This was demonstrated last week when Milei successfully vetoed a rise in the state retirement pension, which had already been passed by both houses of Congress. A similar bill has also gone through Congress to increase funding for the severely cash-strapped universities. Milei has promised to veto that too. University funding has been held at the levels of the 2023 budget, and they are now in a dire situation. However, this move may be more than simply a way to reduce government spending, but also a direct attack on those institutions which are seen as major supporters of the political left wing. Milei said that any kind of public spending will be tied to any fiscal surplus, and that excess revenue would be returned to society through tax cuts, but that could be a long way down the road. The president himself chose to give the speech to Congress, taking the limelight away from Finance Minister Luis Caputo, perhaps to bathe in the glow of his own self-perceived successes. Throughout his 30-minute speech, Milei wore that Cheshire Cat grin of self-satisfaction that is rapidly becoming a trademark. Not everyone is happy with the story so far, and by choosing to take credit or blame for the current state of the economy, Milei perhaps shows a certain disconnect with how government economic policy is affecting the ordinary citizens. Milei's financial austerity program may be saving money, and has undoubtedly pulled Argentina back from the brink of the abyss, for now at least, but it's making everyday life harder and harder for most people. Statistics say that 60% of the population are living in poverty, but a lot of that poverty is invisible. Sure, there are the shanty towns known as Villa Misieres, which are dotted around the city, but they've always been there, and the realities of everyday life in those places is a world away from the Argentine middle class are familiar with. Here in the nice neighborhoods on the north side of Buenos Aires, poverty means taking out loans that can't afford to be paid and selling family possessions to pay the rent. Supermarket shopping is an inevitable but dreary experience. The previous government had a system of price controls in place, forcing supermarkets to sell essential items at affordable prices. Deregulation meant saying goodbye to all that, and the shops can now charge pretty much whatever they want. Added to that, high inflation means prices on many items change almost daily. Shelves aren't full, and not every supermarket has all the things a shopper wants. In addition, prices vary from place to place, so getting what one needs at a suitable cost can mean visits to various stores. The supermarkets try to attract customers with all kinds of promotions. 2-for-1 offers are quickly snapped up, even on the strangest items. 2-for-1 on toothpaste means buying 6 because they will eventually get used. A common discount, which challenges mental arithmetic, is buying 2 and getting, say, 35% off the second item in the larger package, which may or may not be cheaper than buying 4 or more of the undiscounted smaller packages. And it's important to do this today because by tomorrow the promotion will have moved on to something else. Supermarkets sell everyday essentials. Shops selling more occasional purchases are really struggling. Clothes stores' windows are full of discounts to attract shoppers, and many independents are constantly on the edge of going bust. Chain stores can cushion themselves somewhat against having to close their doors completely, but some international chains have left the country. What's the point of being in Argentina if no one has any money to spend? Most people buy bigger items on credit, and sometimes larger purchases are available with interest-free installments to tempt the customer. But inflation is an ever-present beast, pushing products further and further out of reach. Last week, I was browsing around in an electrical goods store, the kind of place selling TVs and washing machines and the like. It was around closing time, and a sales assistant was going around tearing the price labels off everything, because tomorrow they'll print new ones. 100 years ago, Argentina was a very rich country. At the beginning of the 20th century, it was said to be the 7th richest country in the world, with an economy larger than that of the United States. Quite what went wrong is far too complex to go into in this video, but Argentina manages to hold on to some of its former status and is a member of the G20, albeit at number 20. Milei believes that he can reset the clock and put Argentina back near the top of the rich list where she belongs. How far he'll get with his ambition before the people run out of patience remains to be seen. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the video interesting. If you did, please give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, there's a couple of videos on the screen now. If you're not already subscribed, you might want to do that too. If you want to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee in the link below. And until next time, que tengas un buen día.